Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, how do you make sure that your money lasts as long as you do? We'll be talking to a nationally known expert next.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team. And the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
The great Warren Buffett is famous for saying the secret to making money is to be fearful when others are greedy and greedy when others are fearful. But to be honest, when you're watching some of the national news, you don't know whether to be fearful or greedy. One pundit is saying we're about to go into a recession, and another pundit says, oh my goodness, why are you not investing in the market? To kind of sort this out, David Duston with MoneyWorks Group is on the show today. Welcome back.
Hey, thanks for having me, Jeff.
Yeah, and congratulations on your success. I know you're a very popular radio host, and your show is just going crazy right now.
It is. We get a lot of calls every week.
Okay, tell us about the show.
So it's the Safe Money and Income radio show, and it can be heard on KRLD on Saturdays and Sundays every weekend. And we tend to speak in parables about things that are relatable to people. And it's important for people to be able to relate to what we're saying and understand the impact that things have on their finance for their future.
Sure.
So naturally, being able to help someone understand the importance of giving us a call so that you can get our free Safe Money and Income book and schedule that introductory visit or a phone call just to kind of see what your options are and see where you're at in life. Because a lot of people had a plan 20 years ago, but I guarantee you they didn't plan on losing 20% of their portfolio over the last couple of years. Sure. So helping people mitigate the risk and mitigate taxation and land on 2 feet in retirement so that they can enjoy their golden years, that's important to us.
Awesome. We're going to pull up your website, and as we scroll down your website, we should tell everybody you're a certified financial fiduciary. Tell us what that means.
That means that everything that we do has to be in the best interest of the client. That's first and foremost and most important to us as we move through the process of helping someone.
Sure. So like there are others in your industry who will, I'm going to call it churn an account. You're getting people in and out of investments and you make money each time. You can't do that.
Correct. We don't do that at all. And as I said just a second ago, it's very important to know that what we do and what a client wants and needs is in alignment. Just like you have a relationship in a business partner or a marriage or anything else, it has to be in alignment and goal oriented. And if you don't have the alignment, then someone's losing. So we always make sure that everything that we do is in the best interest of the client.
Sure. And it's also important not to pay Uncle Sam more than you owe.
Yeah, Uncle Sugar's out there for a handout, that's for sure. Every time money change tax, that's our nickname for Uncle Sam.
So how do you work with your clients to make sure that they're making tax efficient investments?
It's really important to understand how you can defer taxation for a number of years, whether it's in distributions from your retirement plan, or perhaps maybe you are offloading a highly appreciated asset and the government's out there for a handout right then, wanting their cut, and maybe we can mitigate that for 10 or 20 years so that money stays working for you.
Sure, and I know one of the things you're passionate about is educating people. You had an event last week, and I want you to talk about it, and we'll show some video from that event as you're describing it.
Great. We had the Texas premiere of the M&A movie. I'm one of the executive producers of the movie with Doug Orchard Films. And the M&A movie actually helps to educate people about why only 20% of businesses even sell. And when you think about the fact that there's over 3 million baby boomers right now that need to exit their business over the next 10 years. And you don't get a do-over in that process. Once it's done, it's done. There's a lot of things you get a do-over in life, but not selling your business. So you have to have a team around you, and you have to have that team around you several years before. You don't get the team started the week before you decided. And the movie goes right to the heart of the problem where business owners are taken advantage of by being told not to contact anyone else or not to contact their attorney or anything like that. Those are some red flags, but the movie is great, and it's a really great drama documentary film with lots of information about why you need to have a certain group of people on your team to help you land on a successful note at the end.
Awesome. And on that note, let's go ahead and show the movie trailer.
What do you want, more money or less? Easy answer, right? You always want more money.
We're always trying to educate the market on buying a business versus starting a business.
Startups are hard. It's got a huge failure rate.
If you structure it right, you could take a paycheck day one versus if you start up a company, which everybody seems to want to start up a company these days, you have no idea if that's ever going to work.
Whether you're selling or buying, this decade is the decade for M&A because we've got 3 million baby boomers who need to exit their firms. And so it's both a time to exit and it's a time for you to grow through acquisition versus organically.
A large number of the people I talked to were not at all happy about selling their businesses, and it almost didn't matter how much money they got for them.
I got a phone call from some people who said they're an investor group.
Okay.
You know what to do. Get to work.
We win because we direct the action.
They are professional buyers of businesses.
But wait, we had an agreement.
I'm afraid we can't close tomorrow.
It seems like this isn't going down at all how we imagined it.
They're just going to blow you out of the water. They have the questions, they have the tricks.
Are you really ready to sell?
The problem is only 20 to 30% of businesses successfully sell.
There is always an entrepreneur who says, I can do this myself.
If you haven't put together a team around you and you're planning to just sort of go run the play yourself, that's just bringing a knife to a gunfight.
It's that whole planning and implementation process that owners don't understand they need to do. Their advisors, generally speaking, are unaware of that planning process and their role in it.
Typically, the biggest issue we find in connection with an unsuccessful transaction process is when the advisors aren't experienced.
The way the system works right now, it just isn't working. It's not good enough. And that's what we're all trying to do. Me and several others in the different associations are trying to rise up in the industry, educate the business community, educate the owners, so we can have more of these baby boomers and other business owners successfully sell their company.
Wow, it looks like a great movie. What was the reaction last week?
It was amazing to see a crowd so excited to see and learn and connect with people. And it's just a very rewarding feeling to know that you've helped someone learn something new, a little golden nugget that they take home that they had no idea they were going to get that night.
Absolutely. And we're going to show another clip, but I want you to set this up. This young man is near and dear to your heart.
Yes, I have 2 boys, and one of them is chasing his dream to finish high school and go on to college, and he's on track to be a professional soccer referee one day and still wants to work in the business. But we have this younger one, he's 7. So you think about the mind of a first grader and reading about money and finance, and he's just got quite a bit of insight for a young kid. He spends a lot of time at the library, a lot of time at the library. So he wanted to be in the video that was shown before the movie, and this is what he had to say.
There's only so many ways to leave a legacy. You can write a book, write a song, build a building, or build a business. I want to build a business one day but I've got a few years to
Well,
learn.
that's the next Elon Musk right there.
That's something. He's a go-getter. He makes sure he gets his sleep, but the rest of the time he's learning, and he knows more about airplanes than I do. Every time we go on one, he's got to know everything about it.
Wow, that's good. You're doing a great job raising those boys. In the final couple minutes, for the person watching this saying, man, I may need to give David a call, what's the process like? What happens?
The initial call that someone needs to make is just that. Give us a call. Our number is 214-584-6391. You can visit MoneyWorksGroup.com. But I'd love to just have that initial talk, and it's a pre-visit talk so that we can understand what your goals are and see if that aligns with what we do.
Yeah.
And what we don't do is put people's money at risk and charge them for it. And we don't let people lose money and still charge them more money. So it's a win-win-win for us, the client, the companies that we work with. And like I said, it's very rewarding to know that that person is going to win.
Sure.
And we can guarantee that in the future.
And hopefully you can get to them sooner rather than later. I'm sure that there are people that are coming to you ready to retire, and you have to break the news you can't afford to retire.
Some people have the blessing of being able to just walk out and retire so that every day is a Saturday one day. And others have what we call a work optional retirement, and others have a work required retirement. And depending on the strategies that we put in place today for 5 and 10 years down the road are very critical.
Yeah, well, there's that old expression, best time to plant a tree, 20 years ago.
20 years ago.
Second best time.
I had someone the other day ask,
I
wish I could have met you 20 years ago. But,
yeah,
all we can do is now, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
You've been a great guest. We're going to end with the website, which is moneyworksdfw.com. The great David Duston. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks, Jeff.
That's it for now. We'll see you next time.